Hello, this is Shelton Goode, CEO, President of Icarus Consulting, and today I'm here with Erika Broadwater, my good friend, who is the National Chairman of the National Association of African Americans in Human Resources. And this is what diversity looks like. So Erika,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to diversity and inclusion, what's next? How do we move from awareness and talk to action?
That's a very good question. And I think what we need to understand is from milk to meat, right? So we've been in the field and in the world of diversity for quite some time now, but still we need to really get to the grassroots and the meat of it. And that's where the conversation cannot end. It should be talked about in social settings. It should be talked about in just as much as we have conversations with one another about family, about even particularly religion. We need to be having the D&I conversation. And I think what's next is the generation coming up now in the workforce, the millennials. They are really, they have the vision, they have the passion, even though they don't know, they may not know it. They may not realize that their push for inclusion really has been what we've been fighting for so long. I think back to when I was growing up in New York, and this is real talk, as a very short, light-skinned African American who I had to play on both sides. I was, had to fit in with Caucasians, I had to fit in with darker African Americans, and wasn't always accepted by my own. And so we've come a long way from that time, but we haven't come far enough, is really the point that I'm trying to make. So that meat part of it is, if diversity and inclusion and even equity and equality, if it's not embedded in our DNA by now,
Right.
then we've missed the boat. So we got to continue the conversation. We have to think of new ways of strategizing, new ways of having the conversation, and new enlightenments, right? Things that we continue to keep in that biased frame,
Right.
in the back of our minds,
Right.
that we need to actually call it out, call it for what it is.
And I appreciate that. And it reminds me, on the plane, I was talking to someone, and I was telling them that I was on my way to Milwaukee because the National Association of African Americans in Human Resources, the Milwaukee chapter, was having a diversity and inclusion conference. First, the person said, "What's diversity and inclusion?" And then when I explained it, the person says, "Well, is that still important and necessary?"
See that?
Why is a conference on diversity and inclusion still important to companies, communities, and the country? Why is it still, if somebody just got to this planet, what would you tell them why D&I is still important today?
It's always going to be important. Listen, the fact of the matter is we cannot come out of the color of our skin. We cannot come out of our demographics. We didn't choose where we were born, raised, and where we grew up. We didn't choose the culture. So when you tie everything in that encompasses diversity and inclusion, it's always going to be important as long as we're human beings. We all bleed the same blood, right?
Right.
And for as long as I can remember, education is always important, right? Driving careers and work is always important. Military and protection within the confines of the United States, always important. Why wouldn't diversity and inclusion be important?
Gotcha. As the national chairman of an organization dedicated to training, educating young African American professionals in the field of human resources, you're about to take a conference like this one national.
Yes, sir.
You've done it. The organization has done it for 20, 25 years.
Yes.
What can we expect from the next conference? What's the theme? What do you hope to achieve? And will there be a chance to talk further about diversity and inclusion at the national conference?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the next conference theme is It's Time.
Time?
It's time.
It's time.
So
Okay.
what's it time for? Leadership euphoria. That's key. It's so very important that not just our colleagues across the table understand that leadership euphoria, but also our male counterparts, knowing that women leaders are just as dynamic and important as they are. Women empowerment. Too often we pull ourselves back and we don't even realize it. more than society pulls us back. We have to be empowered, and we have to show that we can do the job. And then millennial engagement. So we're having diversity and inclusion conversations at a different level, a different way of looking at D&I, and from a different lens. It's that next level of conversation. I've already said that parts of this D&I conference here in Milwaukee is going to be over in our national conference. I think it's really important that the folks here, while this is a great conference, there's still a broader conversation and a broader audience to bring it to.
Can we tease folks? Do we know where it's going to be yet? Are you prepared?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
You guys going to be the first ones to hear.
To hear it from me.
The National NAAA HR Conference is going to be where? Drum roll?
Yes, drum roll. It will be in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yay, Norfolk.
October 1st through the 4th, 2020. It is going to be a phenomenal event. We have some great themes and topics. Dr. Goode is he is a staple in our community and with the organization. So we also look forward to having him, but included with that, as I mentioned, different levels of conversation. We're looking to have a step show. So fraternities and sororities, they're going to be showcasing for us. We're going to have HBCU Battle of the Bands. So the entire conference will be based on diversity and inclusion, but it's also scholarship based for those who are in college and working adults who are in college. So it will be sponsored and looking for those scholarship dollars.
You heard it first here. I'm Shelton Goode with Icarus Consulting. This is the executive, and this is what diversity looks like. Thank you.
I'm Erika Broadwater, National President and CEO of the National Association of African Americans in Human Resources, and this is what diversity looks like.